Interesting. So they didn't use stone?
No, they didn't use stone. They used the bone.
The bone?
Yeah.
Because it's more efficient.
Yeah.
The arrows were finer. And
Yeah.
Toward me. Yeah, you have more control. Right. So you just want to make it very round and very smooth.
Now we're getting somewhere. When they left Africa 50,000 years ago, the ancestors of these New Age people had state-of-the-art hunting technology and a brand new language to communicate ideas.
Now how far back can I pull it?
You must be careful.
Further? One more. Pulling to the right.
But they weren't philosophers, they were hunters. Next, the Bushmen showed me how these new skills were used. Like forensic detectives at the scene of a crime, the San Bushmen read clues left in the ground and get inside the mind of their prey. 50,000 years ago, this kind of thinking would have given them an immense advantage over their competitors, anyone who couldn't think like this. Piers Latrange has worked with the Bushmen for years. He's seen firsthand the best trackers in the world.
If you look on the edge of the track over here, it's got a very, very sharp edge. And that's basically their main thing working, saying, okay, the age of the track. And then they'll take another
How
sign.
precise can they be? Is it within hours?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
These are the prints of a wildebeest. Now we're on its trail. A lion will wander across hoof prints without a second thought. If it can't see the animal, hear it, or smell it, it simply doesn't exist. It would have been the same for our distant ancestors. But 50,000 years ago, these trackers learnt to see into the past and into the future. The hoof print told them that an animal had walked this way in the past, and if they followed its tracks, in the future they'd fill their bellies. According to Merritt Rulin, hunting was only the beginning of the advances made possible by language.
Language is basically responsible for all human behavior, whatever it is, and these new hunting methods and the exquisite hunting methods that these people have clearly reflects advanced language. The advanced language is what allows people to do all of this extraordinarily complicated and complex kinds of activities. Its language lets us do an enormous number of different things, and hunting is just one of them.
Back on the trail, the tracks lead us to the prey.
If you look over there, he's lying under the tree there.
Okay, yeah.
You just see his tail swishing. What he's doing, he's checking to see where the wind is blowing. His blinkers are back. Okay,
so what are they doing now?
So this is what they would be their typical stalking pose, actually, sort of quite far down, quite low their profile on the ground.
The Bushmen are keeping a low profile, but unfortunately they never stood a chance. The two great white hangers-on yakking behind them blew it.
So they figure that it's not even worth...
No, once you've been busted, you've been busted.
Yeah.
It's not going to be worth it. The element of surprise is gone.
Yeah.
Is there a parallel between what I'm watching and the skills our ancestors developed 50,000 years ago? I asked Piers.
Oh, absolutely. If you take it just on a basis of natural selection in its purest form, you look at every animal around, it's going to be the survival of the fittest. And to me, you can use the same analogy for mankind. If you didn't have the brains, sorry, you were left behind.
50,000 years ago, our ancestors experienced a quantum leap in thinking. But this doesn't tell me why they left. Were they driven out? Did they develop a newfound curiosity? I'm told the answer may lie 800 miles south of here, on the South African coast. This is a cave with a mysterious past. Long before the quantum leap, this natural shelter was a home for humans. Then they suddenly vanished. Why? De Kelder's cave contains human bones dating back 80,000 years. What were these early occupants like? I asked Royden Yates, an archaeologist from the University of Cape Town, to describe them to me.
And that's the lower jaw. What's important is the presence of a chin. So this is somebody who would not be very different in appearance to any human being living today.
Dress them in a suit, stick them in an office, couldn't tell the difference.
Absolutely. Nobody would give them a second glance.
They may have looked like us, but the people who lived here weren't as smart. These people lived here before the quantum leap in thinking. Royden showed me their tools.
You find blade-like pieces.
And these would have been chipped off a core.
That's right.
Central
Detached
piece of
orbital.
stone.
That's right.
Chop up a bit on the edge.
Then you find over here other pieces which have a natural point. Now, better developed examples such as this could be used as a tip to a spear.
And these would be hafted onto some sort of stick.
Yeah.
Yeah. They are very crude.
If I gave you a block of quartz and a hammerstone, I'd challenge you to produce a plate formed like that.
He's right. I can't make a stone tool, but I'll live with it. The point is that the people who lived here hadn't thought of using materials like bone. These are the kinds of simple stone tools that humans have been making for hundreds of thousands of years. But when did they disappear?
The dating that we have shows that Middle Stone Age people were not in this shelter after 50,000 years ago.
Something clearly happened there then.
Something clearly happened there.
Mm-hmm.
50,000 years ago. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? What was it that caused these people to suddenly vanish? Richard Klein thinks it's a miracle mankind survived at all.
It's extremely difficult to find archaeological sites that date between 60 and 30,000 years ago. Animal and plant populations crashed and human populations would follow. So it's not that there weren't people there, say in southern Africa between 60 and 30,000 years ago, but there were so few of them that they have virtually no archaeological visibility.
Julia Lee Thorpe, a paleoclimatologist from the University of Cape Town, explained how the drought would have caused a dramatic drop in sea levels, leaving this cave high and dry.
There was a very sharp drop in temperature around 72,000 years ago. And at that point, the sea would have receded quite rapidly from the site. So the site would have changed to a different kind of place.
What would these changes have been?
Well, the sea was retreating and eventually retreated to about 40 kilometers away. So this place would have become an inland site. And the set of opportunities that you see around you today, with enormous amount of seafood, which was obviously eaten, would not have been available. It's not possible to carry